Okay guys, so hopefully you have seen my previous video on how to navigate this website, how to sign in, and how to find your resources. So I am currently signed in as a student. This is my fake account, and I see here that I'm registered to Humphrey's First Period. So I'm going to click on it. When I come into here, I see my assignments are in the module. I click week 1, because on 3/16 I'm going to start week 1. And so I have two options here. I can go ahead and press start, and I can go from any platform, or excuse me, I can go in the order that the platform has it set, or I can come over here and I can click random ones. So because I'm asking you to do this daily, I am going to just start on ecosystems and go in order. So this would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this video will be getting posted on Monday. So once you come into here, you'll see that you have this basic outline here, and it'll say practice. Then you can come down here to read, pixelate video, and real world. So there's all these different resources within each module, and you're welcome to click through all of those. Basically what happens is you're welcome to go ahead and just click the keep practicing or try the practice and answer the questions. If you can do this without having read anything, I'm fine with that. If that's kind of the vibe that you're at right now and you know ecosystems and you're ready to move on, that's what we liked about this program, is that it's tiered. So you can go ahead and do this if you want. If not, you can say, oh, I don't know what an ecosystem is. You know, it turns out I didn't listen to Ms. Humphreys. I'm going to stop for now, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to visit these resources. So what I'm going to do real quick with you is a lesson about ecosystems using this online template and the resources that are provided, so you can kind of see how to do it on your own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this read, because right here it says students scored 70% or higher after studying this. So this looks like the best resource I have provided here, and I can just skim this. I don't have to sit and watch a video. You know, I don't have to do an activity. I can just skim this real quick. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to see all of my learning standards the same way we say, hey, this is our intent for the day, or this is our bell ringer. This is what it's going to ask you to do. So we have define and describe an ecosystem, give examples of biotic and abiotic factors, explain the relationship producer and consumer, and summarize the importance of biogeochemical cycles. So many things that we already know are all of these. The only word you don't know here is biochemical. So we're going to highlight that. Okay, and notice I just highlighted, and then I have my options here, and I can even add a note that says, we know all this because we listened in class. Okay, and then I see my little notepads right over here, and again, my highlight and notepad options are here while I'm reading. So we're just going to scroll down and see what this article tells us, and look how short this is. That's it. I mean, it's literally less than 4 paragraphs. This looks like a paper when we ask you guys to write an essay, okay? It's less than 4 paragraphs. So I'm just going to really quickly go through this, and it says, what non-living things are essential for life? So again, I can peruse this, but I also understand from remembering our lectures that non-living things are abiotic. And there are an enormous amount of abiotic factors that I need to live. I need oxygen, I need carbon, I need nitrogen, air, water, sunlight. All of those things make up or part of an ecosystem, but are not alive. They're still required for life. So we know some very key abiotic factors, okay? So check, we're done with that. Now in ecology, well, we know ology right there, highlight, and I'm going to go ahead and add a note to that as well. Ology means the study of. Study of what, though? So biology is the study of life. Astrology is the study of stars. So ecology, eco, is the study of ecosystems. That makes sense, right? Okay. Ecology is the study of how living organisms interact with each other and the non-living part. So an ecosystem, so remember we had, and I'm just going to add a quick little note here to, yeah, we'll say environment right here. I'm just going to add a quick little note right here. And this is where we're going to remember our old people can't eat butter biscuits. And don't make fun of me because I'm doing this without editing it first. And I spelled biscuits. Okay, whatever. So right there, I wasn't done with that. So I'm going to go ahead and click back into that. So what we know of old people can't eat butter, I'm learning, guys, is that we have organism, and that's one person. Okay, that's one thing, one rabbit, one deer, one of the thing. Then we have population, which is all of the things. So this is all the rabbits, all the deer, all the humans, whatever species you're looking at, you had one of them as an organism, now you have all of them as a population. So then we have C, which is a community. Now a community is all of that stuff, all of that species, the dog, the rabbit, whatever, but it also has, so when we did this as an example in our classroom, the organism was a student, the population was all the students, the community was the students, the teacher, my dog, my plants, everything that's alive in that room. So the next one we have is an ecosystem. And that's what we're talking about right here with ecosystems. Well, an ecosystem is the people, the cat, the dog, the tree, the plants, and the abiotic factors we just talked about, including air, wind, and sunlight. So this is living things plus non-living, which we know in science is called abiotic. Okay. So we know that an ecosystem is both biotic and abiotic, and it says right here it's non-living. Oh, I wanted to highlight that. Non-living. So we're going to be done with this, and we're going to hit the highlighter. Non-living. Oh, stop it. You're being real dramatic. Non-living and living, which we know are called biotic and abiotic factors. Okay. So, populations we've already discussed. So what are we talking about? What's in an ecosystem? This was a tricky question on the quiz that you guys took right before we left. So an ecosystem is anything in which biotic and abiotic factors are interacting. This is a fish tank in Miss Foxwell's class. This is the frog in the cage in Miss Hunt's class. This is our classroom where our AC and the open windows are interacting with you guys breathing. Any system, no matter how big, in which biotic and abiotic factors interact are an ecosystem. So see how it says here, freshwater or a small aquarium. You can find them in large thriving forests. And then those ecosystems in large areas are biomes, which we started talking about. So all this is saying is explanations and examples of ecosystems. All right, we're going to come down here and say ecosystems need energy. Now we know this through the energy pyramid, through the transfer of energy, through our calculations of losing 90% each trophic level we go up. But this is talking about biogeochemical cycles. All this is the carbon cycle and the nitrogen cycle. See, chemical, biogeo, life, geography, chemical. All of these words mean things. So all we're talking about here is the carbon and nitrogen cycle, the flow of energy that we've already discussed in class. So we have photosynthesis, which gets us energy from the sun. And that goes to producers because they produce the energy. Then we go up a tier, and then we have different levels of consumers that are going to eat those producers and take 10% of their energy each time. I will I will share a favorite on energy flow and pyramids that I think is really great that's off YouTube already. And then we're talking about the carbon and nitrogen cycle. Remember that nitrogen is in the atmosphere. That goes into the soil. The soil absorbs it into the plants. Animals eat the plants. Animals poop out that nitrogen, and it goes back into the earth to cycle each time. The only thing different about this is what plant and what animal are interacting based off what biome we're talking about. The carbon cycle, we know, is done with photosynthesis and cellular respiration. We breathe out carbon, the plants take it up, they produce their waste, which is oxygen, and we breathe in those plant farts as oxygen. So that's our cycle. We also know that water is getting continuously recycled through precipitation and evaporation. So basically that's literally what this entire article is asking you about. And that was it. This took me 9 minutes. This would traditionally be about a, who even knows, 30-minute lesson with conversations, interruptions. So this should be substantially less time than you would normally spend in the classroom. I know a lot of you are anxious about, I have this and I have this, and I have activities, but this should honestly be less time. So we're just going to go over a review real quick, make sure we understand our concepts, and then I'm going to leave it to you to go do the questions. So define an ecosystem. Well, let me pop up my notes here. Let's go back. I've got my highlights. Well, right here it tells me that an ecosystem, it consists of non-living and living organisms. And we know from our old people can't eat butter that an ecosystem is the living species, the living organisms, the population, as well as the plants and animals, and the non-living factors. Distinguish between abiotic and biotic. Well, we know abiotic, bio means life, biotic is alive. We know that abiotic is not alive. So an example of a biotic would be plants, animals, anything alive. Oh, that's love. Anything alive. And then we know that abiotic, save, we're still figuring it out. And then we know abiotic is non-living. So what this means by non-living is air, water, temperature, climate, yeah, all of those things. Okay, so those are examples of each. Where does the energy come from many ecosystems? Well, we know that the beginning of all energy in the whole world is the sun. We know that the sun powers everything. And then give 2 nutrients that are recycled through the ecosystem. We have done diagrams on that. We've done quiz questions, and it's right here. We know that carbon and nitrogen, but I could also say water. So we have those nutrients, carbon, oxygen, and water that are being recycled. So that's the article. Then you're done with that. If you feel like you're good, by all means, please go up and do the practice. Please don't go on to the next concept until you have corrected this practice, because they build on each other. If you start practicing and you go, okay, I got the article I'm reading, which of the following an ecosystem? Well, it can't be all of the above, and you get it wrong. You know what? Let me go back and try again. I'm going to stop for now, and I am going to watch one of the videos. I can read another article, and I can even come here and do some practice. That's an interactive live simulation for your top, where we know all of our organisms go. So top carnivores, regular carnivores, herbivores, autotrophs. So you can do these kind of activity practice example things too. And then there's challenges. So if you get bored, and I'm going to come back over here to the screen. If you get bored or you want more work, if you are desperate for some bonus and you know that you need a really great grade, or if you just don't understand what's going on, please utilize this resource, guys. I will be checking in daily. Always head over to the Q&A board if you have any questions. I asked my students to check in, so here they are. We're here for you guys. You are not doing this alone. If you need anything, we are here. Okay? Hit me up in the comments.